On the news tonight, General Overseer, 2 of us land in NDLA net over alleged drug trafficking. Serap seeks authorization to investigate growing cases of pre-election violence. JAM rules out extension of UTME registration, warns CBT centers against extortion of candidates. And from the foreign scene, Turkey begins probe of construction sector in wake of mounting death tolls from earthquakes. Good evening and thanks for joining us on the news tonight. I'm Jane, I know. And now let's begin with alleged drug trafficking. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have arrested the founder and general overseer of Seraphic and Sabbath Assembly, Lagos, High Priest Nodu Azuka, a student of Emmanuel College of Theology, Ibadan, Udezuka Udoka, and their flight agent, Oyoyo Obasi, over attempted drugs trafficking. NDLEA spokesperson Femi Babafemi told OSRC's Sunday Kolawole that the suspects were nabbed while trying to export contraband drugs concealed in kegs of palm oil at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos, to Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Nodu was arrested yesterday at his Seraphic and Sabbath Assembly Church, located at number 1 Sabbath Close, Ijesha area of Lagos, following the arrest of 2 other suspects.
On Thursday last week, our operatives at the airport arrested a young man and a young lady. The lady is a freight agent who was contacted to process the consignments for onward exportation to Dubai in United Arab Emirates. And when our operatives saw the consignments, they had to go through it, and through their professionalism and other working tools, they established that indeed what they had with them were not just kegs of palm oil, which ideally is allowed to be exported. But then what they had inside was much more than palm oil. They had skunk, a total of 283 parcels of skunk, and some grams of methamphetamine, which people know quite well here as Mporomire, that is crystal meth, which is also referred to on the street as ice. In the course of investigation, it was established that the young lady that came, who is the freight agent, was recruited by the general overseer of her church. She actually just started going to that church located around the Ijesha area of Lagos. In the course of her recruitment, she was made to go under an oath of secrecy, and also had to make a ritual sacrifice with the life seeking. The general overseer of the church also prayed for her for the success of this transaction, but all that actually did not work, because eventually, when we followed the leads provided by the 2 suspects in custody, that's a theology student at Emmanuel College of Theology in Ibadan, who was also hired to, and actually was paid 2 million naira to assist the lady pull things through. The lady had actually, because the lady was not actually used to that aspect of the job, so she had actually come to see how she could get any officer that would compromise, and our officers were asked to play along. So that ultimately led to the arrest, and eventually when we followed the lead, we discovered that indeed she was acting under the instruction of the general overseer of the church, who we eventually arrested yesterday. Okay. Actually, the general overseer also, one of his sons, it's also an accomplice, also a suspect, and but at the moment, he's vacated or abandoned their house in the last 4 days now, so he's at large. He's currently at large, but definitely we will get him. But we're glad that at least we have the big masquerade behind the whole thing in custody as we speak.
NDLA spokesperson Femi Babafemi urged Nigerians to continue to support the agency as it strives to make society drug-free. In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari says all campaign promises he made to Nigerians in 2015 have been fulfilled. He made the assertion at the 7th convocation of the Federal University, Oye-Ekiti, Ekiti State. Buhari, represented by the Minister for Education, Goodluck Nana Opaya, disclosed he had delivered in the areas of economy, education, security, anti-corruption, and other areas. He said his campaign vows centers on enriching the economy, enhancing security, and the fight against corruption. The Supreme Court says it is not deterred by attacks on its judges over the recent judgments they delivered. The Apex Court had received backlash from Nigerians of recent following judgments it gave on Senate President Ahmad Lawan as well as former Minister of Niger Delta Affairs Godswill Akpabio. Controversy had trailed the participation of Lawan and Akpabio of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC in their respective senatorial primaries, having participated in their party's presidential primary. But in a statement, the Director of Press and Information at the Supreme Court, Festus Akonde, warned that those who had been venting convoluted anger were ignorant of the law. He said insinuation that its justice were brought over by some unknown and unseen persons was nothing short of a bizarre expression of ignorance. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has asked the International Criminal Court, ICC, to promptly seek authorization from the ICC chamber to commence an investigation into the situation in Nigeria in relation to the growing cases of pre-election violence. In a statement today, SERAP's Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare, warned that if cases of pre-election violence were not addressed, it may escalate and lead to post-election violence in the country. The rights group wrote a petition dated February 11 and sent to the ICC prosecutor, Mr. Karim Khan. It urged Khan to urgently send the ICC legal team to Nigeria to promote free and fair elections in the country and gather potential proof of election-related violence before, during, and after the general elections. Ahead of the 2023 general elections, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, has concluded preparation for the visit of President Muhammadu Buhari to the force headquarters, Abuja, to unveil a wide range of operational assets acquired to improve on the operational capabilities of Nigerian police force. The equipment to be unveiled include 127 vehicles, such as Toyota Hilux pickup vans, Zahad Classic pickup vans, Mikano Rich 6 pickup vans, anti-riot water cannons, armored personnel carriers, Toyota Land Cruiser Prado jeeps, Toyota Coaster buses, Toyota Hiace ambulances, Mikano trucks, and crowd control barriers vehicles. The force public relations officer, Olumuyiwa Adejobi, revealed this in a statement obtained by newsmen in Abuja. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says it will not support any candidate or political party in the forthcoming elections, as it is only interested in electoral process. INEC Chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, made the clarification when he addressed supervisory presiding officers for the 2023 general election in Abuja, where he also urged election officers on neutrality. He advised them not to see their job as a service to INEC but to the country as a whole, in which they are equal stakeholders. Yakubu described the work of the supervisory presiding officers as critical to the success of the 2023 general election, urging them to uphold integrity of the process. Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission has launched a web platform for online training of electoral officials. The electoral body, in a series of tweets, said the app, called INEC eSchool, is aimed at enhancing the effectiveness of electoral training of its officials ahead of the elections. Adding that the website is user-friendly, the electoral body explained that the app uses face-to-face and virtual approaches by integrating text-based, audio, and videos in order to help officials gain deeper understanding of its processes. The app, according to INEC, is available in Google Play Store and was done with the support of International Foundation for Electoral System. A member of the Integrity Group and former governor of Plateau State, Jonah Jang, has berated the Director General of the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council, Governor Simon Lalong, over his claim that the G5 governors led by Nyesom Wike were supporting the party's presidential candidate, Bola Tinubu. Reacting to the claim in a statement, Jang stated that Nigerians should not take Lalong seriously. The statement, which was signed by his media consultant, Clinton Garuba, said there is no truth in the claim by Governor Lalong. According to him, the group does not have personal problems with Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party, but with the process that brought him. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, says over 1 million admission seekers have so far registered to take the 2023 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination and Direct Entry Examinations. JAMB Registrar Professor Ishak Oluyede stated this during a monitoring tour of some computer-based test centers in Abuja. Oluyede, during the tour, visited CBT centers located at Totu Child International School, Dutse, JAMB Abuja Zonal Office, Life Camp, Global Distance Learning Institute, and SASCON International College, Abuja, respectively. He also said the board would not extend the deadline for the 2023 UTME registration while warning centers against extortion of candidates. You're watching the news at 7. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll serve you more stories. Please stay with us. Welcome back from that break. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook, OSRC TV Ondo, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel, OSRC TV Ondo. And now to the rest of the bulletin. The Diocese of Akure Anglican Communion says it will continue to contribute to societal development by instituting more impactful projects, particularly areas of health and education. The commitment was restated by the church's leadership during the unveiling of the 40th inauguration anniversary of the diocese and the 10th consecration anniversary of Most Reverend Oluwole Borokini as Akure Diocesan Bishop. The 5 days Power Park Revival and Praise Night program of Christ Apostolic Church, Okeoluwa Mbelaye, Sibe, has ended in praise and thanksgiving. Founder of the church, Prophet Emmanuel Ayibiowo, while attributing the success of the program to God, charged Christians to use their talents to propagate the gospel. Omoriela Ogbeji reports that the Thanksgiving service, which rounded off the 10th anniversary of the church, was held at the church auditorium at Ilere community.
This is the mood of worshippers at Christ Apostolic Church, Okeoluwa Mbelaye Sibe, who danced to different tunes of music in appreciation of God's faithfulness during the 5-day program. Founder of the church, Prophet Emmanuel Ayibiowo, alongside other ministers, also showed their appreciation of God's benevolence. In his sermon, Prophet Ayibiowo said the journey was not without challenges from different directions, but God intervened. He enjoined Christians to utilize their talents to propagate the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Surrender your life to me. Don't be far from me. Don't be far from me. Come to me. It's ready to save you. Save it with you. By the power of God will help you.
Commemorative Thanksgiving and cutting of anniversary cake were some of the event's highlights. Alaye of Aye Kingdom, Oba Peter Adeleye expressed confidence in the calling of Pastor Aibiowu, describing him as a true man of God.
Hallelujah!
Other church members, including the minister's wife, Mrs. Olajimbi Aibiowu, thanked God for protection since the church was established 10 years ago. The 5-day program featured revival service, praise night, deliverance service, among others. Omoniola Humbiji, Osrc News.
I'm taking this again. The Diocese of Akure Anglican Communion says it will continue to contribute to societal development by instituting more impactful projects, particularly in areas of health and education. The commitment was restated by the church leadership during the unveiling of the 40th inauguration anniversary of the diocese and the 10th consecration anniversary of Most Reverend Oluwole Borokini as Akure Diocesan Bishop. OSRC Zahid Aribisa reports that the diocese's 40th anniversary logo was unveiled at a special church service.
The Cathedral of St. David's Anglican Communion, Ijomu in Akure, came alive with praises on Sexagesima Sunday as the congregation gathered for an epoch-making church service. The Diocese of Akure Anglican Communion, which was founded on 2nd of March 1983, clocks 40 this year, while the Bishop of the Diocese, Most Reverend Simeon Borokini, also marks his 10th consecration anniversary. Delivering the sermon on the unveiling of the 40th inauguration anniversary of the diocese and the 10th consecration anniversary, Venerable John Osho tasked everyone to imbibe the spirit of humility to attain God's abundant blessings.
If you want the healing touch of Jesus, then you must come down from the top of the house you have placed yourself. You must humble yourself before Him.
As part of the celebration, some members of the congregation, including Minister of State for Transportation Ademola Adegoroye and Chief Author Eze, were recognized for contributing to the planning of the anniversary. After the service, the congregation, led by Bishop of Akure Anglican Diocese, Most Reverend Simeon Borokini, unveiled the 40th anniversary logo.
Ondo Ecclesiastical Province and Mama Ondo Province.
In the name of God the Father,
Amen.
and of the Son,
Amen.
and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Bishop Borokini, who is also the Archbishop of Ondo Ecclesiastical Province, and his wife, said the church will continue to break new grounds and impact society.
We are imparting to the society what the hospital is for now, is to assist the less privileged, especially those that are poor. Even we encourage some of our ministers to pay the bills of their members, those who cannot afford to buy certain drugs. So we have some doctors there, so they make the drugs that we don't have, they make prescriptions, and those who cannot afford will advise the vicars of those parishes to assist the members.
The glory of God, God had used me to develop this diocese. Firstly, we established the diocese women's organization, Blessed Water. that is DAWOB, Diocese of Akure Women's Blessed Water. That one has gone to places, and the women, my women, are testifying to the glory of God.
Elder statesmen, Senator Olorunimbe Farukami, Oba Olufalaye, among others, described the 40 years journey of the diocese and the leadership of Bishop Borokini as worthy of emulation.
God's work, we must always be interested in sponsoring God's work. So, I mean, that is the reason. No benefit is coming from it, but we are doing it for God's job.
Physical expansion, proliferation of archdiocese and dioceses. Those ones will go maybe in another 20 years. We'll have 50% more archdiocese, more churches. But I'm hoping that we'll have more supporting institutions that to train the clergy to be more effective.
From 2 archdeaconry to 22 archdeaconry, and from less than 25 priests to over 150, the Diocese of Akure has grown in leaps and bounds in 40 years, and expectations from the congregation are that the growth will continue. Sahid Aribisala, OSRC News.
Tolerance, humility, and trust were recommended to Bukola and Tolulokpe Babamboni during their wedding ceremony as tools for a successful marital journey. The event was held at the Christ Apostolic Church, Padabo Jesu, DCC headquarters, Akure, the Ondo State capital. Omorola Ubeji again reports that ministers, parents, and well-wishers also provided useful tips for blissful home.
It's a defining moment for the duo of Bukola and Tolulokpe as they exchanged vows to hold and cherish each other as husband and wife all the days of their lives.
Bukola Mary, thank you, Tolu Emmanuel, to wed as my husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, forever for us.
I adore you in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Officiating minister, Pastor Adebayo Moses, educated the couple on pillars of successful home to include honesty, trust, respect, patience, and humility. He charged the couple to learn how to tolerate one another and forgive easily in order to enjoy their home.
Respect your husband. Respect your wife. Respect is reciprocal. Respect is one of the pillars.
Parents also encouraged the couple to put God first in their home for proper direction.
I only advise the bride to obey the groom, so they should not fight. They should use love to develop as a pillar of their home.
To let people know that today is my birthday. I want people to know that today is my birthday. It's my happiness day so far.
They want to understand trust each other, love each other, and to support each other.
The elected couple promised to put in their best to keep their home.
He's honest, he's God-fearing, he makes me his priority. I'll try to be committed, to be more faithful, to put God first, and to be prayerful.
It is one of a kind. Today is not a usual day to me. It's one of the best days of my life. So I told you, my day for him attention and everything to make the respect.
The atmosphere changed as the new husband and wife were ushered into the reception hall through the police parade in honor of their own, the groom, ASP Tolulokpe Babamboni, and official presentation of sword to protect his own thereafter. Chairman on the occasion, Shola Omolayo, charged the bride on submission and the groom on total love to build a successful home. High points of the event include symbolic feeding by the couple, presentation of gifts, among others.
Still in the mood of celebration, Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu was among the congregation at the All Saints Church, Jericho, Ibadan, for the special community hymn singing service. The event was in honor of Mr. Akinwale Morakinyo for his 34 years service as the choir master at All Saints Church, Jericho, Ibadan. Different hymns were rendered to appreciate God for his mercies and blessings over the Church of God, the celebrants and the congregation. The grand patron of the church choir and governor of Ondo State, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, while making a special presentation to the emeritus choir master, described him as a man who has displayed excellence in his chosen field while contributing to service of God.
Thank you for that economy. You are one person who will call me back. So also, someone that will call me, the organization call me. You hear anything about me, call. You pray. And everything. So why would that be here that you are doing something? I'm happy to be here. They always said, you are people who are up here. There are people who are almighty in this world.
And now on the foreign scene, Turkey has decided to thoroughly investigate anyone suspected of responsibility for the collapse of buildings in the country's catastrophic earthquakes, having already ordered the arrest of 113 suspects. Turkey's Vice President Fuat Oktay said 131 suspects had so far been identified as responsible for the collapse of some of the thousands of buildings flattened in the 10 provinces affected by the earthquakes on Monday. And now to end the news at 7, here again are some of the major stories. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have arrested the founder and general overseer of Seraphic and Sabbath Assembly, Lagos, High Priest Nodu Azuka, a student of Emmanuel College of Theology, Ibadan, Udoka, and their flight agent, Oyoyo Obrasi, over attempted drugs trafficking. We told you again that the Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has asked the International Criminal Court, ICC, to promptly seek authorization from the ICC chamber to commence an investigation into the situation in Nigeria in relation to the growing cases of pre-election violence. Turkey has decided to thoroughly investigate anyone suspected of responsibility for the collapse of buildings in the country's catastrophic earthquakes, having already ordered the arrest of 113 suspects. Turkey's Vice President Fuat Oktay said 131 suspects had so far been identified as responsible for the collapse of some of the thousands of buildings flattened in the 10 provinces affected by the earthquakes on Monday. And that's our news tonight. Everyone, thank you for watching. Good evening.